Howdy, folks. Hope you're doing well today. Today we're checking one out from Decoy. This one's called "They Finally Sent in the Troopers." Let's get into it.
Coy Ruiz lost his life after allegedly attempting to steal a bike, then fighting the police with a knife. But this didn't stop the mainstream media from immediately painting him as some innocent victim that the evil police unjustifiably ended. Never.
Why did he resist? That's my initial question. Number one, why did he resist? Number two, why did he commit a crime? Why was he trying to steal a bike? Like, I mean, it's sad that he died, but if he had just simply complied with law enforcement, he might still be alive. Okay, this is no different than Alex Peretti or Renee Good, in my opinion, at least without seeing all the facts, and I'm sure Decoy's going to get into them.
Mind the second angle, appearing to show him with that large knife, that once the cop couldn't control it, he popped him, which is in line with his alleged 19-year-long criminal history, including 8 convictions involving.
Hang on, patterns highlighted in reporting. At least 8 convictions, 9 charges, specifically for resisting, obstructing, threatening, or injuring police officers between 2007 and 2024, involving Madison PD and 5 cases, plus other Dane County agencies: Town of Madison, Sun Prairie, Fitchburg, Capitol Police. Frequent other charges included battery, multiple, theft, retail theft, drug possession, bail jumping, and vehicle-related offenses. Sentences often involve jail time, probation, or concurrent/bifurcated prison terms. So another career criminal. I mean, if this guy had just done, maybe 8 years, 10 years of hard time, maybe he might have reconsidered his criminal ways. Okay. I know locking them up isn't the solution for every single societal problem, but when you have someone like this who has multiple charges going back years, look, 2007 to 2024. Okay, that's so 2007, 17. Okay, that's like 17 years across his life. He's had God knows how many priors. At what point do you say, okay, you've had enough chances, we're just going to throw you in prison for 20 years because you can't seem to stay out of trouble? And this is another problem that we're having with the activist judges. Again, all he did was X, Y, and Z. What's the law say? Oh, 3 years? No. Let's give him a year of probation for assaulting someone. What? And this is why I've said before, we need a law that specifically requires that if you're going to serve either in the Senate or on any court in America, you need to have passed the bar. It's ridiculous that we have these activist judges who never passed the bar. They have absolutely no business judging the law or handing down sentences.
Fighting the police. So this should be an open and shut case. Longtime criminal with a knife fights the police and unfortunately loses their life. We don't want this to happen, but out of the over 250,000 residents of Madison, Wisconsin,
Oh, and I did want to point out, as someone who has been through a concealed carry course here in Texas, one of the things that they explicitly told us was that a knife is a deadly weapon. If somebody is coming at you with a knife and they are within 21 feet, that is a lethal threat, and you are cleared to use lethal force to stop the threat. Now, some people out there are going to say, well, police have to be held to a higher standard. I'm sure his partner probably had less lethal, but when this idiot pulls out a knife on you and you are that close, you have seconds, maybe even a second, to react. Okay? It sounds to me like the cops did all they could. I mean, it's sad. I think it's what we would call lawful but awful.
The only man the police blasted was the one fighting them with a knife. I'm not really seeing the evidence of injustice here. But facts don't matter, as activists immediately took to the streets to scream at anybody.
Listen, if you're an activist and you do this, you are only harming your own position. Okay? Worry more about maybe about societal problems that lead to people behaving the way this man behaved. How about that? And the other thing is, if you're showing sympathy for someone who has committed crimes, you are basically saying that their victims don't matter. That's essentially what you're saying. And this is not how you get someone on your side. This is how you push people away. Is that a BLM flag? Listen, I'm sure if I were a larger content creator, I would probably get a lot of flack for saying this, but Black Lives Matter? No shit. Everyone's life matters. Okay? Well, obviously, except for terrorists, and I'm sorry, I can't hold this back. Antifa, if you unironically are fighting for Antifa, you're a terrorist. And everybody knows my model on terrorists. Thou shalt not suffer a terrorist to live. Okay? I'm sorry. Anybody who commits terroristic acts, I don't care what the reason is, they are subhuman. They should not be treated in the same way as other humans. They should be removed from society. By force. Locked up, if they're willing to go that way. If they actually killed someone with their terroristic activities, they deserve death. And I will not apologize for that stance.
Which went well into the evening.
Ugh. Globalists, socialists.
It's going through it right now.
As a mob set out to randomly stop all commerce.
And Black Lives Matter, by the way, was a colossal scam. It really was. They didn't actually do anything to seriously help the black community. In fact, there was a lot of African American people who were displaced from their work, from their homes, lost their lives because of Black Lives Matter. They made things worse. If I'm surrounded like that, I'm pulling my gun. I'm shooting people. I'm sorry. This is a threat to my life.
And later, they began to attack cars.
I'm sorry, I think it needs to be a federal law that if you're going to protest and block the street and assault vehicles and you get run over, tough shit. You shouldn't be standing in the fucking road. Don't even stop for them. Just fucking go, man. Mow them the fuck down. Oh yeah, there you go, there you go.
Nobody seemed to mind the senseless assaults on that random guy's SUV, but once he switched into reverse, everybody started shrieking over that potential attack, which actually tracks, as nobody was protesting over Coy's long list of crimes, including attacking not only their cops, but actually innocent victims. But once the police had to forcefully put a stop to him, only then, when things get reversed, do they cry for peace.
Yeah, I mean, that's very on brand for them. But, a serious question. How come those of us who can't stand seeing this shit don't rise up and push back against them. I'm not talking violence, okay? I'm talking like just in general to keep them in check, right? It shouldn't have to be just the police, right? This is still America. We still have the Second Amendment, and we still have the right to defend ourselves. What is going on here?
This wasn't the only instance of them blocking the streets, then pleading victimhood.
This man's trying to hit us with his car. This man.
No, you're standing in front of his car, you fucking moron.
Hey, we ain't. No, none of that. None of that.
I'd just run him down. I would just run him the fuck down. I'm sorry, I don't care.
Turn around. It's against the law. It's against the law to shoot somebody dead in the fucking street.
That man was not defending himself from oppression. He was using a deadly weapon on law enforcement officers, you moron.
You don't want the motherfucking chair. You don't want the chair. You don't want the chair. You didn't seen it before.
Fucking run them down.
But sadly, some of these idiots actually think they can negotiate for their freedom with the unruly mob.
You can't.
I kept saying, I want to go home so I can park. And I want to be part of this. I have 2 children. They need to know that what happened was wrong. I saw the guy today with the MAGA hat. And the liberal. I don't think that's right to come down and try and instigate problems. I just wanted to get to my house. That is it.
We all just want to do something in this world.
As the left always eventually eats their own, and the sooner you realize there's no amount of rationale or negotiation that can impact the minds of literal simpletons, the sooner you'll realize the only thing they'll listen to is force.
Understand this, okay? Our schools are in such bad shape that people alive today that are 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 years old, right, within that age range, who recently graduated from high school and or college, those people are graduating with a 6th grade reading level, okay? These schools, the left has turned our schools into indoctrination camps, right? That's why they push LGBTQ nonsense. That's why they push socialism and all this other stuff. That sounds really, really great because people think, oh, free stuff. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works, okay? And then these people, grow up, they're completely brainwashed and gaslit by left. And they go out and do this shit. You cannot negotiate with these people. Okay? If I see a group trying to block the road, and I'm driving on the road, I am honking. Yeah, I'm laying on the horn, but I am also gassing it. Okay? I'm going through there at the fucking speed limit. If I hit somebody, that's their fault. They shouldn't have been standing in the middle of the road.
As eventually, this evolved into an entire no-go zone called the CRAZ, the Cory Ruiz Autonomous Zone.
You could see just how much
Fucking
the encampment has
stupid.
grown at the site where Cory was shot and killed by Madison police. Protesters have put up a number of tents here. They have people essentially running checkpoints at each side of the encampment, checking who's coming in and out of this site. They even have tire spikes in the perimeter. The city has also put their own salt trucks on one end of the intersection, and they've also scheduled garbage pickup for residents in the area as well as people inside of the encampment. I reached out.
That's insane, and this is really a whole lot like what happened with was it CHOP or Chaz, Capitol Hill, was autonomous zone or Occupy Protest, whatever the fuck they called it. It was stupid. Why do the governments of these cities allow this shit to happen? Are they really okay with unrest in their cities? I wouldn't be. And if I were, chief of police or, whoever's like the top cop in town, I'd be like, look, we need to clean this shit up now. Disperse the protesters, get them out of the street, and if they have a problem with it, we use force. It's that simple. Get the fuck out of the street, go back to your homes, go back to your daily lives, stop protesting. Also, I just want to point out the whole thing with Carmelo Anthony. Dadgum, how come I can't? I forget the name of the boy that he killed. I apologize for that. They did AI shots. I don't know if any real world images of it, but they did AI shots of people pissing on that boy's grave. I wonder how they would feel about it if somebody went to the spot where this Corey, whatever his name is, and pissed on that spot. I promise you they wouldn't fucking like it. But rules for thee, but not for me.
To Madison's mayor for an interview, which her office declined at this time. But in statements that were released to the public, it said that her office is working to come up with a peaceful resolution to all of this while still honoring Corey. But protesters that I've spoken with here tell me they're not going anywhere until the officer involved in this shooting is facing charges.
Get some water cannons out there and fucking clear the streets. That's what I say. Oh, somebody got hurt, somebody fell down, somebody broke an arm or a leg. Tough shit. Maybe they won't protest the next time something happens.
Insane to think that in America, if the mob suddenly decides to cut you off from civilization, your garbage hyper-left woke mayor is completely willing to sacrifice your freedom to please the mob, as even journalists like Nick Sorter got attacked on sight.
And let's not forget the old quote from one of the founding fathers, that those who are willing to sacrifice freedom in service of safety deserve neither.
Whoa.
Get out of here.
No, do not touch, do not. Just bet. No, I'm not touching. No, I'm just trying to get in my car. No, I'm just trying to get in my car. I just want to, just let me get in the car. That's it. That's all I want. Get in your car. I just don't want to get hurt.
Nope.
Get in your car.
Nope. That's a deadly weapon. Just shoot him.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yep, we're done. We're...
So finally, the state police came in to intervene.
About fucking time. And notice they said the state police, not the local police. Vote these people out of power, really. If you're sick of seeing this shit on the news as I am, vote these people out of fucking power, okay? Stop voting Democrat. There are very few Democrats that I know of that are really actually good people, like really actually care about their people and for the people whom they govern. The only one that comes to my mind is John Fetterman. Okay? Yeah, he's a Democrat, but he's more of a traditional Democrat, right? He's closer to Donald Trump than he is to someone like Nancy Pelosi or Bernie Sanders. Okay? And he's not afraid to call out his own party when they're fucking wrong, which I absolutely love. And they are wrong a lot. I'm sorry, yes, I will admit I have a bias. But objectively, any group of people that wants you dead for your political beliefs, they're a special kind of evil. Okay? Last I checked, this is still America. And we still have freedoms. Right? The Bill of Rights give us those freedoms. Well, I should rephrase. The Bill of Rights don't give us those freedoms. We already have those freedoms. They are inalienable freedoms, according to the Constitution. We have protections of those rights from the government. Clear them out.
Leaving behind a mess that again, the adults had to clean up.
Madison streets almost killed 2 people today. Madison streets.
Shut up. And we've really got to figure out a permanent solution to this shit. Bulldozer, let's go.
And remember, these full-grown adults took the time off of work to sit around and make a tent city defended by spike strips and volunteer security.
I can almost guarantee, I don't have any evidence to this, but I can almost guarantee you that this whole protest was funded by the Democrats.
Only for it to be quickly dismantled once the adults say playtime is over. But unfortunately, their mayor's still trying to placate them.
I just want to say again, because I think people don't believe this, we are absolutely committed to allowing space for some sort of memorial.
Middle-aged white women are allowing our country to die. And it's not just them. To be fair, it's really not just them. There are a lot of minorities that are also doing this, this sort of thing, or sympathize with this sort of thing. And it's sad to see. It's really sad to see, because our children's children are the ones who are going to suffer if we don't do something, if we don't vote these people out of power.
It just can't be in the middle of the traffic lanes.
Well, that'll never satisfy these imbeciles, as allegedly they went to the mayor's home.
Oh, this is beautiful. The mayor of Madison realized the occupation of, does that say Wiley or Willie Street, that she enabled and supported with city resources was becoming a political deadweight. So she sent the same police she bashed 2 weeks ago to clear the mess she made. And how did those Corey Ruiz Autonomous Zone occupiers react? Well, have a look for yourselves. Yeah, that's the mayor's house. These are the wages of white privilege. Satya? Is that her name? Embrace it. Bruh, did they destroy her house? Look, I know I'm laughing at this because realistically, yeah, she did bring it on herself, but I will not say that she deserved this. Okay, nobody deserves to be terrorized, even if it's a mess of your own making. Maybe she'll think twice next time, though. I will say that. Maybe she'll think twice next time.
Or wherever they think the mayor lives, and trashed it.
I get no sleep because you. The community ain't get no sleep because you. We saw you set your pigs downtown.
Bro, you got any more than pixels?
They're like rabid animals, reacting to what looks like justified policing by yelling at random residents eating, attacking vehicles for the crime of driving on the streets, then shutting down an entire block to recreate Seattle's Chaz. Their autonomous zone free of all police because of police brutality. When almost immediately, they began shooting each other inside, not once, but several times in under a month, including the shooting of more black kids, apparently.
Are we surprised by this, really, though? I mean, because we saw the same thing with Chaz, too, where they're like, oh, no law enforcement, we need, we'll police ourselves. Yeah, meanwhile, they're shooting more minorities than the cops ever did when they were policing that area. It's almost like the cops are bound by specific protocols that help keep them in line, that keep them from abusing their power. You fucking morons. You brought that shit on yourself. Now fucking live with it.
Also evading the police, not to mention the arson attacks, the instances of extortion by warlords, and the many cases of assault that took
Hold on.
of extortion.
Police make allegations of intimidation, extortion inside Capitol Hill's autonomous zone. Oh, this is from the whole Chaz thing. Okay.
By warlords, and the many cases of assault that took place inside the police-free zone. And what makes it worse is, one, the reporting is incredibly downplayed on these horrendous crimes.
By the way, I think terrorism should be expanded to include sex crimes as well. Maybe that's a hot take, but I'm sorry. For me, like at the very bottom is terrorists, right? And then sexual sadists. And then above that, just simple child abuse and bad parenting. All right. To me, like, those are the three worst. Those are the three that do the most harm to our society. And in the West, we've just kind of come to understand like terrorism to be this idea that, oh, it's comes from the Middle East, and it's because of their religious beliefs and all. No, 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 no. Terrorism is any sort of religious or politically motivated attack on innocent people. It's that simple. Now, I know I just said I think sex crimes should be included in there, and that's not inherently political, but to me, it's still a terroristic act because it affects the way the victim thinks moving forward. It alters how they think, sometimes how they behave, sometimes how they view members of the other of the opposite gender, right? So yeah, I think sexual crimes should be considered acts of terror.
But more importantly, that specific assault was on a disabled girl lured into a tent, which upon discovery of this attack, they immediately called for the police to come in and arrest him. Which just goes to show they're just LARPing. When they do indeed want and need the police, they just briefly pretend they don't for social media points and something to do to make themselves finally feel important.
And here's the thing too, like, I think generally speaking, most people crave the structure of society, right? Like, from the time you're 4 years old, 5 years old, you attend school, you learn your education, and then when you grow up, maybe you go to college or trade school to learn something that you can, like a skilled trade that you can monetize and, make money, and just, like, that's their life. They live their lives how they see fit, that sort of thing. It reminds me of when I was a child and my parents were fairly strict disciplinarians. Well, one of the things that they used to do with me, aside from, the occasional handful of swats, here and there, if I did something really bad, was they would have me stand in a corner, put my nose in the corner, right? Well, my cousin, who grew up with much less discipline in his life than what I did, whenever I did something wrong and I was told to put my nose in the corner, there were times where he would ask my mom or my dad, hey, what corner do I take? Like, he understood that I did something wrong and recognized whether or not he was involved with it and believed he deserved whatever punishment I was receiving, if that makes sense. So people, like, this idea that people don't want discipline, that they don't want societal structure, laws, rules, things like that, is complete bullshit. I feel like the human mind craves structure and craves guidance, craves rules, boundaries, right? We need those in society.
So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription and you'll subscribe to Decoy.
Yeah, another banger video from Decoy there, and I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with everything that he said, and I know I'm a little bit further to the right maybe than what he is, but he's just more common sense, and I really do appreciate his common sense take on all the different things that he covers. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys could check out my Kick channel, I'd very much appreciate that. We play games over there. Right now, we just finished Cyberpunk 2077. We're still playing Persona 5 Royal. I'm live Saturday through Friday. Sometimes, Sunday through Friday, excuse me. Sometimes also Saturday nights, starting at 9:30 a.m. Although Saturdays are going to be starting sometime between 10 and midnight, typically. And if there's not going to be a weekend stream, then I'll be sure to let you guys know. And the next game that we're going to play, since we finished Cyberpunk 2077, will be starting Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time on Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So if you'd like to see me, walk you guys through that video or through that game, check me out on Kick. And if you guys could please, comment, leave a like, and subscribe and share these videos, I would very much appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.